You should mute your audio. Hey, it's Monday, and it's two-a-days here from the car. Car Seat Mondays. Beautiful weekend of football. I have yet to lose a preseason bet. Hot as a pistol. Don't want the regular season to even get here anymore because it's just easy picking an exhibition, which is usually what I say right before about an 0-7 week. Lots of stuff to go over this week. We're going to hit a couple more preview pods this week, obviously, but today, just getting back into camp and a fun one, which the saga I kind of followed, especially after the whole Roquan Smith guaranteed money thing, and when they were talking about how they structured those contracts, the Jalen Ramsey suspension, which if you want, you should go find the tweets where they were pretty innocuous, I thought, as far as just kind of getting into an argument with a local reporter, but him and what's it, Dante Fowler, both of them suspended for a week, can't play, and there was something in the contract there, haircut whale.
Yeah.
There was in Jalen Ramsey's contract. It says if he gets a suspension for what's it like the the wording is goofy because they gave him a suspension for one thing, and the wording was like something else as far as it being a worser offense. And so like people right away thought that he was going to have to give up like $6 million in guaranteed money because of the suspension, and there was a big kind of freak out. But they're calling it like conduct detrimental to the team rather than just like awful being a shithead conduct. So he's not going to lose his guaranteed money. Um, Dante Fowler already got like a real suspension from the league last year, so that wasn't even a thing for him. His is already gone because he's more of a fuck up. But that's no, it's kind of a weird situation. But I don't know if it's a little bit of Coughlin playing into that, where no nonsense. I don't want the guys on in training camp, on Twitter chewing out reporters' asses, even if he's standing up for the team. I think they'll be fine. It's just a little blip on the radar, but it was. I always find the contract stuff interesting with the shit that gets written in there. As far as if he were to serve a suspension for, you know, bad conduct or whatever you want to call it, I can't remember the exact wording. It's crazy. You can lose your $6 million guaranteed just because of a suspension that can be handed down for a number of reasons.
Incredible, man. And it plays into that Roquan Smith still holdout, right? I mean,
Yeah, same. It's the same thing. That's why it was kind of interesting as far as like, people bitch about the owners, the teams, and the franchise tag and shit like that. And I always just didn't really want to side with that. Like, they're getting paid really good, but I mean, if you're gonna be the top 1,000 people at your job in the entire world, you're privy to that kind of money, and they are kind of getting jobbed as far as as how the owners can just make a contract disappear if this X, Y, or Z happens. But players don't have that kind of luxury, so it'll be interesting to see if we see any more of those. Because the Roquan Smith thing was, I don't want to sign a contract because I'm worried about that. I want that wording in there. I'm worried about the helmet to the face rule or whatever. But there's a ton of people, literally, every single other person in the league is under contract. There's a ton of people that probably don't have that kind of wording in their contract, and you wonder if there will be some defenders that get affected by this year, as far as really lowering a helmet in a bang bang play, catching a suspension, losing like $6, $7, $8 million.
yeah,
That'd be super sickening for. I mean, going out there and putting it all on the field for your team and then losing a bunch of guaranteed money from the team.
yeah,
But I
incredible.
digress.
I want to talk a little bit about my topic today. Will be Kyle Shanahan. Guy is legitimately one of my favorite, if not my favorite coach in the NFL right now. He did an unbelievable interview, I thought, with the Pardon My Take guys on their podcast this morning. And the dude walks the walk and is you can count on him to, on one hand, be at the cutting edge of, crafting dangerous offense, and then on the other hand, he's not doesn't have his head up his ass. He's totally down to earth human being, and approachable, and they hit him with some pretty uncomfortable stuff. I thought,
Yeah.
and he rolled. He was not he didn't lock down. Not confront or not answer the pointed questions they asked him, but they brought up the what happened 28-3 up 28-3, and he with pretty clear foresight, talked about, or pretty clear, not really shifting too much of the blame where you could have put a lot of the blame across a lot of players. But he owned up his responsibilities, and in particular the 1 2nd and 10 play call where they threw the ball and stopped the clock that was so instrumental in giving the Patriots the last little bit of time they needed to tie the game. But it was fascinating hearing him confront all that stuff, and you get the sense that he's truly learned from all of those issues, and it was pretty exciting. I would be super excited if I were a 49ers fan, because this guy's going to be around for a long time, and he's going to get better and better as a head coach every year. And the interview is absolutely worth listening to if you haven't already heard it. Yeah, I'm excited for the 49ers future.
Yeah, I listened to that too, and for just a second, it was ooh, this is going to get cringy. You got that secondhand embarrassment, that cringe, but then the way he answered, the way he rolled with it, it was just fine. It was funny. It was good then.
Agreed.
He knows you can't go back and change the Super Bowl. If that was the case, the Vikings might have a win or two.
He was great. I'm buying long-term stock in the 49ers organization. It seems like Lynch and Shanahan are a really great GM coach combo. You add Jimmy Garoppolo to the mix, who seems like a legit quarterback, and oh man, the stories about RG3 were fascinating too. How they crafted their offense for him, and they weren't okay, we're going to force him into this particular offense. They literally took his strengths from college and made it work. His stories about Johnny Manziel and the Browns were fascinating. Everything about the interview from start to finish was awesome.
That RG3 thing. So many teams, it feels like they do the opposite of that, where this is our offense, we drafted you, learn this playbook. Whereas maybe that's the case if you're drafting an outside linebacker in the 6th round. Hey, if you want to make the team, you're going to learn this D. But if you're taking a high-end asset, like a quarterback, early on, you can't just go round peg, square hole and all that. You have to say, well, how are we going to make this work? We invested high-end draft capital. This is going to be possibly, a big part of the offense for years and years to come. Hopefully a decade. We got to make it work, and it just feels like it's counterintuitive to just make a quarterback adapt to the system you have in place. Why not put him in a position to be successful? And they did that. They just forgot to put down new sod. And,
that's so good.
Years later, he was. Injuries happen. Shit happens.
Yeah.
So
I hang a lot of that on his dad. That was really, they ended RG3's career. Yeah, no, on Shanahan's dad.
RG2.
RG2. No, on Mike Shanahan, I felt like he really that was pretty unforgivable, throwing him out there.
Yeah.
Anyway, you want to wrap it up and talk to people about what we got coming up this week as far as podcasts go, and then we'll do this again tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Recording tonight, so hopefully get something up again tonight. We'll be doing another divisional preview, two divisions. I can't remember which ones, but it'll be 2 of the 4 that are left. I think maybe the AFC North. And again, we'll have a special guest. That's always fun, getting someone else's thoughts. It'll be probably another long one just because there's a lot to talk about. But I love doing these previews, love getting some outside point of views on some teams, and taking some notes as we get a little closer to. I'm probably going to be putting together most of my season win total bets, even though, I missed some good numbers. But I think there's still some value to be had, especially after I talked to Jay and Suma, and after our 2 previews this week. I think between everything I've read and everything we've talked about and everything I've listened to, I have about as much NFL information as going to fit in the brain this year. So looking forward to week 2 of the preseason and a couple more pods. And as we move closer, we'll be doing a little more previewing for the actual start of week 1 with some possible Propapalooza 2. We don't know yet based on the utter failure of our bets in the first one, but something to look for. So catch you tomorrow.